I hope I'm playing it chill for y'all that are listening in on this, because I do not feel chill in my soul. So you're DMing the upcoming campaign for Critical Role.
Hell yeah.
You've got 2 live shows coming up here in Sydney and Melbourne.
Yes.
Another one for Dimension 20 in Vegas in November.
Correct, November 1st.
You're the keynote speaker for South by Southwest.
Yes.
You're also a husband and a father. Sam Reich's personal sleep paralysis demon, I've been
Yes.
led to believe.
Am I his sleep paralysis demon, or is he my sleep paralysis demon?
I mean, we all saw that Dropout episode in the castle.
Sure, I would say that is revenge on a longtime sleep paralysis demon. You know, let's remember who instigated. Okay, he's sticking up for yourself. Hardly, you know. Maybe he deserves to have his, someone sit on his chest and he can't move and there's a shadow in the corner,
Reaping what we sow. I get it. It was great. I was here for it. If I laugh, can I judge? Absolutely not. I guess the question at the end of that is, if you stop moving, do you explode, or is that just a myth?
Much like a shark, I cannot muscularly pass water through my gills. I need forward momentum in order to do that. So yes, we must keep swimming.
Funny about that real quick is I almost put that analogy in, and then I was like, technically not all sharks do that, and Brennan would probably know that, and I don't want to get called out for my incorrect shark fact.
But like, that's the thing, is at a certain point, a thing moves out of being a fact. Like Stephen Jay Gould famously said, I've been studying fish for 20 plus years, and I've come to the conclusion there's no such thing as fish. The world of biology and zoology is endlessly variable. However, what do they say? Intelligence is knowing that a tomato is a fruit, and wisdom is not putting in a fruit salad. So in the parlance, in the vernacular of the peasantry, as they say in Wizard of Oz, sharks can't, they got to move. So that's the world we'll live in this moment. And also, I just have sharks on the brain. I just watched Finding Nemo, as I watch it once per day, which is what
the first time, or like as a regular thing.
Oh, it's a regular occurrence. We're watching now. Does Finding Nemo get called Finding Nemo in our household, or because of the age of my young daughter, does it just get called Fish? And it turns out the movie's name is Fish.
Aren't we all in some way just fish? And that's all right.
Stephen Jay Gould would say maybe.
Is there an end goal for you? Like a point where you will step back and be like, yes, I am satisfied with that. I will now do other things.
It's a fascinating question. And first of all, thank you, because there's a sort of kindness baked into your question, or perhaps it's part of my own pathology that you're like, hey, are you okay? You're doing a lot, and I'm like, thank you, I'm doing great. But I understand the question, because it is it does not feel like braggadocio to acknowledge that I am involved in a healthy number of projects right now. There's a lot going on, and that's delightful. The thing that it occurs to me to say is just that, like, anyone who's working in entertainment or media has an awareness of the incredible good fortune of, for lack of a better word, getting to do any version of this for a living. And there's a weird thing that happens where, if you work very hard to get a shot, then you set yourself up to go, well, once I've gotten the shot, mustn't I work at least that hard to make the most of the shot? I think that, like, if you move from a place of awareness that the primary factor in establishing a creative career is luck, that you're like sitting on a winning lottery ticket, that you got lucky enough to take a real crack at it, don't you owe it to that good fortune to make the most of it? And I would say, for me, the answer is yes.
I can see that. Do you think that, I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with my next question. You obviously work on stuff that you're very passionate about, and you can't not give a part of yourself when you're doing that kind of work, but you're also under the watchful eye of millions of fans. How do you work on something so personal but protect yourself from that kind of scrutiny, and only kind of take what you need from like criticism and critique?
This is a wonderful question. It is, I think it gets to the heart of a weird wrinkle in human psychology brought upon by technology, which, my old film professor talked about Charlie Chaplin and said it was the first time. Said like there had always been famous actors in theater, right? Like you have the old school famous actresses, but for someone's actual face to be captured in light and put on walls and screens all over the world for everybody to see, it changed something fundamental. To be able to be recreated so that you really can be in more than one place at the same time. And what that can do to create a sense of familiarity with you and how do you protect yourself. People have different answers to this question. My go-tos are two things that I think get a bad rap, and I think they're incredible, which is compartmentalization and dissociation. And I think people, let me tell you, you gotta be dissociating.
Sometimes I gotta step out of my brain for a hot minute.
Hot minute, hot hour, hot couple of years. And I think that I'm being a little bit glib here, but I do think that there's a degree of when the places that you sort of have these zones that you're in, where for me, when I'm at home, when I'm with my family, when I'm at the studio with my colleagues and my friends, these are places where you can be like fully and wholly yourself, and you essentially are, for lack of a better word, you're still being the best version of yourself you can be, but you are allowed to sort of breathe and be like a little bit more natural. I think when I'm like consuming feedback about the show, you end up having to take something which is an extension of yourself and really look at it like, I'm like a crafts person and this is a thing I made. Even though this performance, even though it's my voice, even though it's whatever, if someone's like, I have a problem with something you did, you have to alter your own emotional resonance, not to be like, so you're saying I'm bad and I don't deserve to be alive?
So I'm the problem and I suck?
And gotcha. I suck? And instead go, someone's like returning a sweater that doesn't fit. And you look at it and go, oh, did I mess this up? Like maybe in my performance or my writing, I actually like committed an error. Or maybe this person just didn't like it. And that's also okay. And I'm going to make, especially, I think what's helpful is especially for like younger people watching this who maybe are content creators or they're artists or they're working in media and they're making stuff. For so long as your career is starting, you're making stuff in a vacuum, in the dark, and saying, please, someone notice me. God, I'm so alone. And then they start to notice you and you go, yes, we've done it. And then as they're noticing you, one of them says, I've noticed you and I think it's bad. And you go, no!
You've noticed me incorrectly.
You've noticed me in the wrong way that I don't like. But it makes sense because our sense of, we're a very social creature, human beings. I say that like I'm not a human. Humans are social by nature. And what that means is people being pissed off at you is a big problem. What if 5 people are pissed off at you? What if 100 people are pissed off at you? Every primal part of you is like, if 100 people are pissed off at me, I'm dead. I am banished from the social familial group. I'm going to die. And for some people, there are celebrities for whom if 100 people are mad at them, it's a statistical rounding error. How many people see a Marvel movie on opening weekend? You know what I mean? Like it's something that the human brain is not equipped to process. And so you end up having to develop this very thick skin with a lot of resilience. And the challenge is, can you have the thick skin and still but not calcify as an artist with ideally like some kind of social responsibility, with both like a social responsibility to make good work and a moral responsibility to make good work, and then just like a professional responsibility to make good work, meaning good, like high quality, meaning like don't fall off, like keep making good stuff. So it's a wonderful question, and it really does come down to, again, I joke about dissociation, but what it really is like you create this version of yourself. It's like a performative version of yourself, and then you, the human being, are kind of like a little captain of that. You're like, all right, got to get the ship in working order. We're doing funny voices again. Let's make sure that we're like taking on feedback about the last time we did funny voices. And if someone didn't like it, don't start crying. Like you
It's
have
okay.
to
Do the funny voice, but do it better.
do it better. Yeah, I just have to dissociate a little bit and go, yeah, even though this thing is like involving my face and my voice because I'm a performer, it's just work, man. You're just doing work. You just got to do it better next time. Yeah.
As we kind of said, there's more of a push in media now and social media to promote yourself, to commodify personality as a selling point. What's some advice you would give to people who are starting like a D&D actual play of their own? Because there are so many now. How do you keep that drive and that passion in the face of algorithms that more or less, unless you get that lottery ticket, can be the make or break to your career? Like, how do you balance that?
There's a million different vectors to give advice on, right? Because you can kind of shift your modality from being like you can strap in and try to give the like competitive advice where it's like, let's talk about algorithms. Let's talk about what works. Let's talk about what people pay attention to. What's the skill set you're bringing? Is this your first time that you're doing this actual play? Are you bringing a background from like certain like fantasy storytelling? Like Dimension 20 is all improvisers, Critical Role is all voice actors. That you have this like, even like the McElroys had like their dad was in radio. They had this like there's a degree, like there's different things that inform whatever you're doing. It doesn't have, there is no one path to success, but if you're saying like, in other words, you can give that like, okay, let's be competitive. Let's try to win advice. That's one type of advice you can give. And the other type of advice you can give that's much more human is, I didn't make me famous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was doing what I always did, and one day people showed up. So anyone that comes up and is like, how'd you do it? You go, I don't know, man, talk to these thousands of people. Believe me, everything you're seeing on camera for Dimension 20 or Critical Role was happening for free in a basement in New York at an improv theater, like sometime in like 2011. In other words, I think you have to have a lot of humility, and probably the best advice I would give to someone starting any artistic endeavor, right, is if you anchor all of your emotional well-being on an external factor which is fully outside of your control, I think you'll be miserable even if you get it. You know what I'm saying?
That goalpost just keeps moving. It
keeps moving. Right when Dimension 20 first started to get popular, I actually credit a lot of my current mental health with watching The Last Dance on Netflix, which is a documentary series about the 96 Chicago Bulls. It was about it was like very weird to like take basketball and apply it to like media and entertainment. But essentially, I think anyone who is ambitious or and not in a negative way, just like has aspirations for what they want to achieve creatively, artistically, in whatever their pursuit or field is. You watch Michael Jordan, who's one of the most achievingest people of all time. They had commercials for this dude in the 90s for just him as a guy. Said, be like Mike. Are we selling it? Like, yes, they had the sneaker commercials. And there's also just commercials for the dude. Insane to have a private citizen who just has commercials for who he is, right? And you watch interviews with Michael Jordan in his enormous mansion, having achieved what the slimmest fraction of human beings on the planet have ever achieved, and he is angry and upset. And they say, how did it feel to win that 96 championship? And his answer in the documentary is, it's bullshit, because we should have come back in 97 and we should have won. And I remember watching that. Again, this was like early days college humor. Just as I was realized, like, I think earlier in the week I'd been recognized by the Tide Pod CEO sketch, which, believe me, I'm not comparing any of this to Michael Jordan. I'm just saying in terms of like, as I was being like, whoa, I got recognized by someone, and like, oh, finally I have my first full-time job in media and entertainment. I watched the height of achievement be so angry and so unfulfilled, and went, that cup never gets full. So I would say to anybody who is ambitious, the best version of ambition is it's a game. It's like you're playing a game. It's like, oh man, can I run a little faster than I ran yesterday? Can I tell a better story than I told yesterday? Can I do this in a way that I haven't seen it done before? That might be kind of hard. That'd be challenging. That'd be fun. Let's do that. But all of your joy, all of your self-worth has to come from human community, love, what you can be and do for the people around you and other people. We don't. I feel like the best thing that people in my line of work, if you're considering doing actual play, you have to really quickly unplug the how I feel about myself from how my thing is doing.
It sounds so simple, but it is such like a fundamental truth of just like we truly have plugged ourselves in so aggressively that it is almost indistinguishable from real life, like real emotion, real feeling, real people, but churned out and chopped up for views.
Totally. And whatever your ambition is, just try to put as much of it as you can in the realm of what is doable by you. You can tell a better story than you told last time. That you can do. You can say, what did I do last time? What can I learn from it? How do I do better next time? If your thing is like, I'm going to have 1 million subs, I think you'll be sad if you don't get it. And if you do get it, 10 million is just the next number you can think of, right? So now hang all of your self-worth and joy on 10 million. And then after that, hang it on a bunch of islands. And then after that, hang it on having $1 billion. Do billionaires seem like they're having a normal one the past 10 years? Do they seem like they're having a great time?
If you're aiming for billionaire, A, go to therapy. B, aim lower.
The most miserable people on the planet who have everything, enjoy nothing, and are inflicting chaos and horror on the rest of us for being so empty. Can't stand it. Try to unplug from the achievement matrix and try to get into I love my community, the people around me, and that's where I'm drawing my meaning from.
Thank you so much. Is there anything you want to add? Anything you want to talk about?
I'm so excited to come to Australia. I am so excited to come to Australia. I've been obsessed with Australia since I was a very little kid. Rescuers Down Under, very formative. We remember the late, great Steve Irwin always, one of my absolute childhood heroes. The people that we're doing the shows with are awesome. Tom and Zach and Demi and Jordan are so funny and hysterical. I have a question for you.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm a snack hound. I'm a big time snacker.
Ooh.
What's the thing I will have truly blown it if I do not have by the time I leave Australia?
Oh no, because now I'm under the microscope and I got weird snack tastes. Look, I'll say it sounds gross, but it is like we have so much of it in Australia. Kangaroo jerky.
I am not gonna lie. I discovered something about myself as you said, kangaroo jerky. I don't know about, and you just have to answer me honestly here.
Go.
I know that kangaroos are bipedal. Do they have like little hands? Do they have hands, Gemma? Straight up, tell me if they have hands.
They do have claws.
Okay, so that's kind of tough, right? So that is kind of tough for me, right? That is kind of
nothing
tough.
With hands.
I think nothing with hands is but you know what? Hey, I'm traveling. Maybe I need to expand my horizons. Maybe I will get there and I will say, I was hoping for something kind of underhand softball pitch for me. I was hoping like Tim Tam Slam, something like nice straight down the middle.
If you wanted basic, why would you come to me for this, man? Do I look like I got basic tastes?
I'm so
Get out of here.
I thought we were going to keep it fun. And you said, I want you to find one of these dudes that literally can do. I just think of that kangaroo standing in the river, flexing its shoulders. And I'm like, that's a person. Dude, that's a straight.
They'll fully roundhouse you. But yeah. I mean, hey, there are so many of them.
They do seem belligerent. If there was, I would eat kangaroo jerky if there's a company that can firmly state, we guarantee every one of the kangaroos we've turned into jerky started some shit. It's like the opposite of free range. It's like every one of these kangaroos came flying out of the bush and attacked someone who had done nothing to wrong them.
Personal guarantee is each one of these punched a grandma unprovoked at one point in their life, and that's why they're here.
Flying roundhouse grandma. We this is
We've got a business. This is it. We can make this happen, man. We can do this.
We can do it. Hell yeah. Gemma, a true delight. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It has been a true pleasure. We're so excited to have you in Australia. It's going to be amazing. Have the very best time.
Let's go. Thank you, Gemma. Have a good one.
You too.